A lot better coming up after a win, of course, than a loss. And, you go through training camp, and you don't have as much contact as you'd like. So you have to, get to the first game to kind of see exactly where you are. And a lot of situations, we still had a lot of players that hadn't played a lot of football. Had a quarterback that hadn't played in a long period of time. So the first half was, a half that, most teams don't want to have, but sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get going. I feel like we left a lot of plays out there on the field. Of course, let them get behind us on the defensive side of the ball. And offensively, we got behind them and they complete some of the long passes. But it's always about the finish. And offensively, we thought, we knew we had a lot of weapons, and I thought our offensive coaches gave the guys a chance to make plays. That offensive line that stayed together throughout training camp, every snap, they all performed well and just kept going. It gave AJ a chance to move around in the pocket. Of course, he did a great job running the ball. We always want a couple passes back, but first time out, like what he did, running back-wise, Ray Von Bonham, Mike Epstein, Reggie Corbett. We're going to play all three of those guys, and they had their moments. Mike Duty came back, old Mike, in so many ways. Ricky Smalling, we could go through offensively and talking about specifically how we finished that second half. Defensively, we talked a lot about Jake Hansen and what type of player he is. I think he had 6 tackles for losses. He'll tell you he should have had an interception too. Our front, I thought, was solid. That quarterback run really hurt us. We did a good job on third down, but fourth down killed us. And the third downs we did on the defensive side were third and longs, which our defense should win. But in the end, it's always about takeaways. Second half, Quan Martin. His given name is Jartavius Martin. We call him Quan Martin. Interception is big. When you're a freshman, you get your first interception. Of course, Dale Shawn's interception. And the fourth down stop, it's just like a turn. It's like a takeaway too. Special team, we have a few things to clean up. Mike's return, of course, gave us a chance too. So a lot of good things to talk about. Some of the things that aren't good to talk about, we had 5 players that have been suspended indefinitely, that didn't play the game. Good football players. We have some team rules, and if you break the team rules, there are consequences. Most of the time, it's not a death sentence, and that won't be the case with these players, but they missed the first game, they're still suspended indefinitely. We have a couple other players, Vertus Brown and Larry Boyd, that won't be playing with us this year for academic reasons. The other players that didn't play today, Jamal Milan, Larry Oladipo, Tony Adams, we have another list of players that didn't play because of injuries. I don't know about major injuries that we had from the game, but I think there were any major ones. The typical bruises, bumps and bruises from the first game, I think we had that. Take your question.
Coach, you talked about those 5 guys that were suspended. What do they need to do to get back on the field?
Just continue to do what they're doing right now.
You should go.
When we say suspended indefinitely, there's something those players have done. I'm not going to go into when it happened, which is a long period of time ago, but right now they're doing what they're supposed to, and we'll see where it goes from here.
What's their reaction?
They're suspended indefinitely. There's nothing else to talk about. On a big game like this, we're not going to turn this into those guys that didn't play, injured guys and all. There's a lot to talk about, of course, for the guys that play.
Coach, have you known all along that these 5 were not going to be playing?
No need in going into that either. They're suspended indefinitely. Guys, they broke team rules. I know you want some information. Here's the information we'll give you. They broke team rules, and they're suspended indefinitely. There's nothing else I'm going to say on the matter.
Well, I just meant, my question was, did you have to prepare knowing all along that they weren't going to play?
There's a period of time we've had to prepare, yes. That period of time could have been a day or 2 weeks. Not going to go into that either.
Some of the guys that stepped in their places, talk about that, how they performed.
Performed well, talking the first half, the second half.
Yeah.
We played some young defensive backs. We let them get behind us a couple of times. rather not happen, and we lined up wrong. You know, some of the young players are going to have typical first game things that, you know, we don't do well, and we'll do better next time. But I like the way the guys hung in there and fought. You know, I think they ran 84 plays. That's a lot of snaps too. So they fought through it all. Pleased with how they finished.
What did you think of?
It's about the finish. We start the games that way too. We want to start fast, but it's always about the finish. When you're down by 14, we didn't have a choice. I mean, they had momentum. We knew that we were getting the ball to start the second half, and we knew that we had to score some points. So it was there for the offense. Got to score points. Got to score at least 14 more than they do. So in defense, it was about taking the ball away, giving our offense opportunity. So there was a confident locker room at the half that we could play better than we had the first.
What did you see from the offense in the second half that was different than the first?
I
Just
don't,
tempo?
you know, tempo, made plays, finished drive, didn't make some of the same mistakes we made the first half. Things are all above. Again, when we got in position, we made the play this time. First half, I thought we were in position quite a few times, just didn't make the play.
What did you think of your quarterback? Things you liked, and where would you like to see some improvement?
Well, improvement, things we like first, just how you ran the show. Again, it's been a while since AJ has played. He's a tough guy. He's mobile. We've said that. Thought he ran well. I thought he threw some good passes. We had caught a couple of ones that we dropped. The stats would look better. He protected the ball, no interceptions. We had that fumble, but no interceptions. Said it before, I buy into AJ Bush. And what he needed to do, he was a quarterback down by 14 points at the half. And we needed to come back strong, and he led us back.
Lovie, talk about Calvin Avery and how he did on the defensive line today, coming in there as a freshman.
I'm anxious to see the video, but Calvin has been in a rotation throughout training camp. You know, there's a red shirt plan. He's not a part of that red shirt group. He's a part of the core that we're going to play. As you can see, Calvin has a little bit of size, and we needed an anchor in there. So first game, I thought he did some good things.
Is this a game, looking back at last year, maybe that if you were in the same situation, maybe 1-1, did the guys respond differently?
Well, I hope that's the case, since we're talking about this year's team and where we are. But you find you need to go through some tough moments, and maybe not right away, but that's good too, to see how we're going to react. And again, down by 14, you know, against a good offensive team, everybody felt like they had to do their job a lot more. That has to give you confidence. This game is about momentum. We have momentum going into another game next week against Western Illinois.
How good of a test was Woody Barrett for this defense?
He's a challenge. Woody Barrett's a good football player. I mean, came out an all top, 4-star, 4 or 5-star recruit. A few things happened. We had to take a little different road to becoming a starting quarterback again, but you saw he can run the football, has a strong arm, good football player.
What do you feel like made it better in the second half, just stopping the run?
I'm sorry?
What do you feel you did better in the second half?
I think coach is going to say that we just kind of, you know, first half I thought we were in position. You know, missed tackles, missed opportunity. But you just have to stay the course as much as anything. Keep pounding the rock. Sometimes mistakes happen. You just have to try, eventually keep going, keep playing hard. You can overcome that.
Is that what you told them in the locker room? To stay the course. What was their demeanor like?
There was a confident locker room. And I think it comes from being prepared and knowing it's about the finish, but knowing that we didn't play our best ball. If we played our best ball and we were down by 14, that's different. But we knew that we left a lot of plays out there on the field. And if we all tighten up, I had to do a better job. Our coaches had to do a better job, and of course the players. Everybody took on their responsibility.
Did you
Turn
play
5 guys on the offensive line. Just what did you think of their performance today?
I thought, you know, of course you can't wait to see the video, but whenever you can run the ball like that and come back like that, the offensive line has to do their job. So normally you see how the team's doing. You can kind of tell how the defensive and offensive lines are playing. I thought they did pretty good.
Did you use about the number of freshmen you thought you would use today going in?
Yes, we did. I'm just thinking about all of them that played. Yes. That's going into the game.
Right.
We thought none of the freshmen that we played, we just all of a sudden say, hey, all right, I know you weren't ready, told you weren't going to play, you're ready to go. Now, no, we had that plan, and all these guys have done something to show us that if needed, they were ready to contribute right away.
How do you feel about Sam Mays' play today, getting some catches after a while?
Sam has had, first off, Sam has been healthy, and he had a good training camp. His problem has been more staying on the field and fighting through injuries. Beyond that, he's a good matchup, one-on-one situation. He's a good size. He'll tell you there's a couple opportunities we left out there too that we'll get next time. But like what Sam has done.
Is the way you played in the first half and some of those issues, do you have any long-term concerns about some of that? I know you were able to get momentum back and win, but is there anything that?
No, not at all. I mean, we're going to do everything that we did wrong. We're going to try to correct. It's kind of simple as that. And there's a lot of things, but you still have to, focus more on the positive. These same mistakes that we lost, we will be cleaning them up. It's a lot easier, of course, identifying those. In this situation with the win.
What was the team's energy like before the game? Was there a lack of it before kickoff?
No. I've seen in my time in sport, I've seen I cannot think of a time where I've seen a team not be excited before a game. And a lot of times that's hot air. And what I'm more interested in, a team that's confident, that knows what they're doing. That'll get you through these situations. But game day, especially game day here in Champaign, the excitement that goes along with our band, the crowd, that gets you pumped up. But then eventually you have to settle in, of course, to doing your job. But our team was pumped up like they are always.
Jake Hansen feels like he's always in the right place at the right time. What's his impact on this defense?
Jake's a good football player. Start with that. He can do everything we're asking our linebackers to do. He fits the profile. He can play in space. He's a good tackler in the open field. He dropped the ball today. He has good hands. He gets the coverage for the football junkie. The year he was out of football, Jake was up there, seemed like daily, more into the assistant coach's role, doing whatever he could, and learning football. So this is how you're supposed to come back from a tough situation, the way Jake Hansen had.
How do you want to see these freshman defensive backs take a step forward next year?
They'll take a step. Just make improvements. Don't make the same mistake. Any young player, any player in general, you set the bar first time out, and just don't make the same mistakes. Things are a lot clearer once you can kind of see what has happened in the game. It's different. Game's different from practice. Those guys, we know what type of players, what type of people they are. They'll clean up all those. We will.
Some in the crowd were not happy at halftime, man. Do you hear that?
You mean who was? Me too. I was a part of that same group.
See.
Everybody in the locker room, they weren't any happy people. They shouldn't be. For that performance that we put out there the first half, relatives and family were okay. But beyond that, no. I mean, that's the way it should be. We didn't play well.
Okay.
3 running backs scoring in the third quarter. Is that the kind of impact you expected from that game?
That's good information for you to tell me. All right. To know that they I just know that going in, the plan, you can say we have 3 starters. They can all play. They know that. They cheer. They have a great room of cheering and helping each other out, and they all bring something unique to the table, to the field. So, not surprising.
Coach, real quick, what do you say to the fan base? The Bluebirds came out early. The student body, they weren't happy. What do you tell them?
Don't say anything about that. We played bad. Fans everywhere in America, if you're not playing well, they're going to boo you. They're going to boo what's happening on the football field. It's no different. But how were those same fans at the end? They were pumped up and cheering, right? That's what we're going to talk about. We continue to do our job, everybody will be happy. And if the few times when we don't, we understand.
The injured guys you mentioned, are they some of them close to being back?
Yes, and Bob, if there's someone that's out for the year, we would tell you.
Right.
These players have, I'm trying to think of a few of them have had their injury for a while.
Sure.
But they're coming back.
Right.
Tony Adams, Jamal Milan, the guys that missed, they're coming back.
Okay.
So that's why reinforcements are coming, soon. In the meantime, we're getting some valuable reps, young players that are filling in. It's always about the next guy. Injuries can happen at any time.
Okay.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right.